Hi guys, John Picarello here. I want to talk to you today about simple leadership. Leadership can get very complex, but when you understand that leadership is all about people, then you could boil it down to its simplest form. So today we're going to talk about simple leadership. 3 things to remember and you're well on your way. It's not all you need to know, but it's foundational. So the first thing you need is accountability. So think about being accountable. So when I talk to leaders, many times the first thing the leader thinks about is their team being accountable to them. And that's okay, they're supposed to be, but that should never be the first thing you think about. When you hear accountability, you need to think about first your accountability to your team and then your accountability to your customers and clients. So you are accountable. The leader is accountable to more people than the people who are following them. Think about it. So they're accountable for everybody on the way up, but a leader's accountable for everybody going down. So understand that. So make yourself accountable. So if you say something, let your yes be yes, your no be no. Develop just this idea of your word can be counted on. People pay big money for that because trust is high, and I'm going to get into that at another subject, but the idea of being trustworthy. So when you say something, if they can count on it, that's powerful. That's simple leadership. So if you are accountable to them, it really is disarming and people will become accountable to you. I've seen it happen. In the beginning, it doesn't always work that way because it's a little bit uncomfortable when a leader's forthcoming, totally honest about the good, the bad, and the ugly in themselves. And then, of course, that gives you the liberty and the right to ask them about themselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But if you're just going to come across as the boss and ask all sorts of questions and everything, forget it. No one's going to be accountable to you. So you'll have all sorts of excuses. So be accountable to them first, and they will reciprocate over time. The second thing is be flexible. Flexibility. So it's accountability, flexibility. Very important. So being flexible simply because life always throws us curves. And you're dealing with people, not robots. So people have good days, people have bad days. Sometimes people get sick. Sometimes people are on vacation. And you and I, we have the same thing. We have good days, we have bad days. So be flexible and understand how to shift gears in high times and in low times. You know, if you're a surfer, you understand high tide, low tide. So understand high tide, low tide among your people that you're working with, among your customers, your clients. Understand it. And the vendors you deal with, whatever it is. And to be a good leader, it's pretty simple. Understand the mood, understand the mode, understand where people are at in any given moment. So it's good to be a people person. Ask them how they are, and don't make it just perfunctory. Really mean it. How are you? And expect an answer, and have them answer you. So why? Because you can gauge where they're at. And that's important. So be flexible. Not everything's going to come off on schedule exactly as you think. More often than not, it usually doesn't. So be flexible. And finally, collaborative efforts. You always want help. You should be the first one as the leader. We as leaders should be the first ones to ask for help. And just say, I need help with something. If you do that long enough, even just questions, what do you think of this? Run it by some people on your team. When you begin to do that, and always say, listen, I need your help with this. What do you think of this? Or I need your help with that. Whatever it is. And sometimes even a personal issue, if you develop the relationships that good, then you could say, hey, what do you think it is? It doesn't have to be too personal, but hey, I got this thing I'm thinking through. What do you think? I'm just looking for some input. They'll do the same to you over time. Why? Because you can be trusted. Simple leadership is about being relational. So be accountable. Be flexible. And more importantly, be honest. And get the buy-in of your whole team. Collaborative efforts seals the deal. And when you win, give everyone else the credit. They'll give you the credit, but you give them all the credit. Never give yourself the credit, and always take the responsibility for the failures. And thank the team that they tried hard, but we didn't win this time. And never say you, always say we, even if you have to correct an individual. Always put some of the blame on yourself. Why? Be accountable. You're the leader. And I guarantee you, that simple leadership those three things will make you a winning leader. I'll talk to you next time.